My name is Andrea. Today I want to share with you a detailed analysis and solely from a quantitative perspective of the study total impact on the poverty, enrollment, and community on college student rotation. This study addresses a key issue in the higher education. Why do some students stay in college and others not? And more specifically, how did factors such as community and the enrollment system influence that decision? Analysis approach. First, it's important to clarify that I'm going to focus exclusively on the quantity aspect and the study. That is, the number study, data collection method, and the result analysis. My goal is to evaluate whether the data used truly allow us to answer the routine question. I'm also going to review whether the statistical analysis was adequate, whether the samples were efficient, and whether the conclusion presented and truly supported by the data. We won't cover the quality aspect today, but it's important to know that it exists with the study. Data collection method. Now, let's get to start the research. The author uses the nationally data, that is, official record from the public university in Southern California. These data were collected between 2010 and 2015, spanning several cohorts of students. This is a major methodology advantage since it's working with the real records and not surveys or opinion. Reduce the margin of the error and avoid subjective bias. However, there are also limitations. The author acknowledges this data and employment, mental health, family support, or income level were not included. These are all factors that can seriously affect student retention, but were not considered in the quantitative analysis. Population and sample size. Regarding the sample size, the study is quite robust. The overall population was over 5,000 students, and the sample were divided into the annual cohorts. This size is more than used sophisticated and obtained statistically significant results. Furthermore, a representative sample was used. The care was taken to ensure that the study include reflect the general characteristic of the entire student population. This gives strength to result and allow the conclusion to be applied to a broader population with the sample context. Hypothesis and results. The study had two hypotheses. The first was that students who community are less likely to remain enrolled in college. The second was that the open enrollment system also reduced retention. So what was found? The first hypothesis was broadly confirmed. There was negative relationship between community and retention, although it was not perfect correlation. This suggests that the further away the student live, and the more difficult their community. The more difficult it is from the continue their study. In the contrast, the second hypothesis regarding open enrollment was not strongly supported by the data. The impact was weak and not significant and expected. For all of this, a logistic regression was used, which is the appropriate statistical tool when analyzing relationship between multiple categorical variables. Inconsistencies and limitations. But as with any study, we must also look at the weaknesses. And in this case, there are some clear consistencies. For example, the type of transportation the study used was not taken into account. Traveling in your own car is not the same as riding on two or three buses. No was a certain travel time measured, which is key. Taking 20 minutes is not the same as taking 2 hours. Another witness is that the multivariate analysis was not performed to control to other variables such as socioeconomic status, academic average, or even whether in the student work part-time. All of this limited the study ability to approve more complete explication. Conclusion of the analysis. In conclusion, this quantitative analysis is quite strong in its structure, sample size, and objective. The results, especially regarding displacement, are consistent and well supported. However, the study needs a broad to more in-depth approach. In future research include more variable and perform a more detailed multivariate analysis. We could gain more complete understanding of the rotation problem. Even so, this study provides a clear and useful basis for moving forward.